go with the June update. 9 p.m. I think it says 86% on the battery. This is the June 2017 update. I'm going to click on the download over here. Down on the bottom we say download. Security updates are normally very small, and then it takes forever to do the install. So what do we have to say here for this latest update? Let me go right down. 9 p.m. 86%. I never know. This could go really fast or it could take forever. So let me read the info that I have for you. Might have to turn up the volume. I don't know if anybody even listens to the end of these things because I ramble on a lot, and some people hate it and other people don't mind. Sorry, little cough here. This time I brought the water. It's June in Los Angeles. We have what we call June gloom. We get May gray and June gloom. I live right by the ocean, by the beach. And that means that this morning it was foggy. Most of the area was foggy and it was cold. Now it was low 60s, and I know everyone is going to say low 60s is not cold. I had a friend who lived in Germany, and she flew out to Los Angeles. She used to tell me all the time how cold Germany was, 20 below zero. Her and her husband couldn't stand the freezing weather in Germany. 20 and 30 below zero, always really cold and windy and snowy. Two of them came out here to Los Angeles for a vacation. I took her down to the beach, and he was asking for a jacket because he was freezing, and it was in the 60s. Coastal weather, totally different humidity, and I know a lot of people who live in other states who say, oh, yeah, it's really cold over here, and we're used to freezing weather. Oh! Then they come down to Los Angeles, and they say how cold it is here. And next thing you know, they're wearing jackets during this type of weather. So, what can I say? Let me read to you what the update is going to involve. And first, let me tell you, BlackBerry makes this update available to BlackBerry-powered Android smartphones that have been purchased from shopblackberry.com. Updated software builds may also be available from your retailer and carrier, depending on their deployment schedule. So if you bought your phone directly from BlackBerry, chances are very good you're getting your updates every month on time and extremely early. And if you bought it through a carrier, you are getting your updates when they decide they want to give them to you. So it has some advantages, spending the extra money and buying directly from BlackBerry. Now, what do we have for the June 5th? This just came out yesterday. I know this time I'm on time. I'm only a day late on this since it's June 6th, and this came out June 5th. And we just have the typical vulnerabilities that they love to fix on this telephone. What do we have here? Remote code execution vulnerability in media server. Media server shows up every single month. Remote code execution vulnerability in lib. It's a library open JPEG. Remote code execution vulnerability in library XML2. Denial of service vulnerability in, there it is, media server. Oh boy, I should have shut off this, how do you like that? Should have shut off. Should have shut off the screensaver, but I didn't. Oops. 127 megs. So I do the downloads wireless so that I don't hit my unlimited overpriced package plan that I've got from AT&T. And it's unlimited, so as long as I don't go over. And I never go over it, and they keep raising the rates because it's unlimited and it's grandfathered in, and they're going to screw me because they want me to cancel and get a different plan that will be cheaper, that will get rid of the unlimited. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll go with another carrier one of these days, but for me, if I average $10 a month, it comes out to $100 a year, a little more than $100 a year. It's just not worth the aggravation right now. Elevation of privilege vulnerability in Bluetooth. All right, I know it's going to go screensaver again soon, so let me see. Information disclosure vulnerability in Bluetooth. Information disclosure vulnerability in library zip arch, ARCH. I think that's what it is. Denial of service vulnerability in library XML2. That's libmxl2. Not that anybody cares, but I can't just do a 30-second video, can I? I don't think so. So when I do wireless, it takes forever. If I turn off the wireless and do this download direct, it's probably done in just seconds, if not minutes. But that's how it goes. Elevation of privilege vulnerability in Qualcomm bootloader. That's always in there. Elevation of privilege vulnerability in kernel FIQ, or maybe FLQ, debugger. You little debugger, you. Denial of service vulnerability in Qualcomm bootloader. Elevation of privilege vulnerability. There it is. I missed it. Come on. Privilege vulnerability in Qualcomm sound driver. It's always the same things every month, but at least, good for them, good for BlackBerry that they are on top of these things. Or maybe it's Google. You just never know. You don't know if BlackBerry's shooting out these updates or if Google is doing this each month, but I'm happy that I've got a phone that gets regular updates. And if somebody wants to send me a BlackBerry to do some reviews on, I'm more than happy to review anything that somebody sends me. So if you're a business and you want some help doing a review, I'll do a good review for you and I'll ramble on at the same time. Elevation of privilege vulnerability in Qualcomm secure execution environment communicator driver. Elevation of privilege vulnerability in Qualcomm camera driver. Elevation of privilege vulnerability in Qualcomm IPA driver. Hey, let's see if I can do it like the guy would do it in Washington, D.C. Elevation of privilege vulnerability in M-Star touch screen driver. I am not guilty. Fake news, fake news, fake news. I will save the world. All right, that should really piss off some people if they got to that point in the video. Elevation of privilege vulnerability in Qualcomm networking driver. Oh, here's an update here. Update elevation of privilege vulnerability in Qualcomm video driver. Information disclosure vulnerability in Qualcomm camera driver. Information disclosure vulnerability in Qualcomm pin controller driver. Update information disclosure vulnerability in Qualcomm voice service driver. Let me tap this so it doesn't go. Oh, that sounds bad saying let me tap this. Well, I take that back. Did I just read this one? Update information disclosure vulnerability in Qualcomm voice service driver. I might have read that. I may have read that. Elevation of privilege vulnerability in Synaptics touchscreen driver. That's always in there. Oh, we're almost at the end. Still downloading. Unbelievable. Information disclosure vulnerability in Qualcomm Wi-Fi driver. Vulnerabilities in Qualcomm component and vulnerabilities in Qualcomm component. I think I just said that. Maybe I'll say it for a third time. Nah. All right, so where are we? It's at 9:10, already 10 minutes into this download. Boy, that battery's holding up pretty good. We're not chewing up too much battery power yet. Somebody told me that I believe it's the next update for Android Nougat. It's a nougat like candy. Who knows? N-A-G-U-A-T, whatever that is. Someone said that they've definitely heard that nougat Nugget is going to be coming to the Blackberry Priv in the not too distant future. And I'm going to be waiting for that. Someone also sent me a message saying that you can download it from a website and bypass the bootloader and install it yourself. And I'm going to tell you one thing about Blackberry. Extremely secure system. Lots of protections on this thing. Direct updates if you bought it from Blackberry. So it's a very secure phone, probably one of the most secure phones out there. And the last thing that I'm going to do, ooh, it's starting to dim. The last thing that I'm going to do is risk ruining this phone or making it vulnerable to hackers or crackers or jackers or slackers by bootloading this thing and installing my own OS. Now, I did that on the BlackBerry Bold. I did it all the time, every time there was a new update that AT&T didn't want to give me. I went out and did that. But the BlackBerry Priv is a little bit more locked down, and they've got that detect thing in there, and I don't want to mess this phone up. Even if it's guaranteed to work and it's secure. I don't want to screw this phone up. I don't want to brick the phone. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to throw my money down the drain and say I have a broken phone and now I've got to go out and get it repaired or buy a new one. So this phone serves me well. I don't need nugget. I don't need that right away. When I got this update, Marshmallow, I can't remember what the previous one was. But when I got Marshmallow, I didn't really notice much of a difference. Maybe it did run better. There were some changes, but not that great of a change that I noticed. So until Nugget comes out, Nugget, until it comes out, I'll be fine using what I've got. Sometimes you just got to sit back and say, it's not worth the risk. I know some people can't do that. They got to have it right away. Well, I looked at some of the things online on how to do it, and I just said, no can do. I am not taking the risk, and I definitely don't want to go out and buy another one of these and be without a phone until I figure out how to solve this problem. That was always the big freak out when I did the Bold updates. Bold 9900, I would always look at it and say, whoa, is this thing updating? Is it flashing the right way? Is it working? And then when it would reboot and everything would start up, and I go, okay. The only thing I hated about that with the Bold, even though I backed up all my settings, backed up all my my documents and my numbers, the contact list, it would do all the backups, and after I would do the Bold update, and then I would go and I would load in everything that I saved. Oh boy, when is this thing gonna? You know, this happened last time, where I ended up rebooting, and it was finished in seconds. And then the time before I did that, I rebooted, and I didn't have to reboot because it was already starting to do the download. I mean the install thing, so I just don't know half the time if it's downloading or, because they don't really tell you. They don't even give you an idea where you're at. So you don't know if it's stuck or if it's just slow. So what I was saying is that every time I would burn the Bold, sorry, losing my voice here because of the weather, the hot, cold, dry, damp, foggy stuff, and I would go and load the files back on, it never accepted my syncing of my email server, so I would have to go, I think I have 10 email accounts, and I would have to reinstall, I would have to get them all verified again on the Bold, and then towards the end, they got rid of that process on how it was validating the emails. And I ended up calling up AT&T, and luckily I got some tech guy who said he was working from home. He was remote, one of their remote tech guys, but he was working from home, and he understood the Bold, and most people there don't. And he told me what I needed to do to make the thing work, and I got all my email accounts verified, validated again on the Bold, and right after that I decided maybe it's time to buy a new phone because things are just becoming more difficult. So I've got this awesome Priv here, my boss, ace, groovy, bitchin', gnarly, totally radical Priv, Prav, without the nugget, nugget, and I'm not going to mess this up. So we have been downloading, I have been downloading, you have been watching me download this 127 meg file for the last 16 minutes. And chances are you've done a thumbs down. Oh, gotta cover the screen. Hold on. Okay, I had to cover the screen. I just got a message from somebody, a TV reporter. Got downloaded and verified. Restart. Good thing I didn't restart it. 16 minutes to do that. Update available. Download. Down at the bottom, you can see it says cancel. Cancel if you don't want to do this. No, I don't want to cancel. I want to do the install. I'm making my video for the install. I only have 1 hour. Oh, normally what happens is you go and you reboot this thing, and then it wants your password, and then it goes and it installs all the modules, and it takes something like 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Last time this did it in about 5 minutes. I was really shocked. I was going to ramble on and bore everybody around the world with some conversation about something. And there's that little blue line over there. You see that blue line? It goes right across. Boom, 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 boom. And that's what was really weird, is because after this blue line, it normally wants you to put in your password, your screen password, and then it starts up and it says it's updating or validating or verifying module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes all the way up to like 39 or 40 something, depending. And with the last security update last month, after I rebooted, it was done. No module checking, nothing. Hey, I know my videos are boring sometimes, especially something like this, but if you like them, do a thumbs up, a subscribe, a like. If you want to link any of my videos, any of them at all, to any websites, so that lots of people get to see them and lots of views end up showing up, that would be awesome. Since I'm a YouTube partner and nobody is donating to my videos, so the more people that watch, the more knowledge that is spread, and the better the benefit for me, if that makes any sense. That blue line is about half done, maybe a third done. We're 18 minutes into this. I think the last video or the video before, I went for about an hour talking about exercise and the gym and life and health and blood sugar. Here's something that's just been really on my mind lately. I have a neighbor that she wasn't really that old, but she passed in her bed. I don't know. Well, obviously it was during sleep. We think it was during sleep. And it turns out she's an only child. She has some distant relatives very far away that really had next to nothing to do with her, that really didn't associate with her for most of her life. She has no will. And since they can't find a will and they can't find a trust, the state has stepped in to take care of all of this. And when that happens, the state makes a lot of money off of that because they get lots of tax dollars by going into probate. And the family, this is just kind of weird, but the family is going to benefit from this. The two people that they've been able to find, the two survivors. But neither one of them wants to fly out here to get involved. They don't want to release any of the, they don't want to release anything. So this poor woman is, I'm not going to use the word, but she has, she's still under the custody of the state because nobody wants to release her, if that makes any sense. So for 6 weeks, she hasn't even been properly laid to rest. She's just, what can you say? It's kind of scary, kind of depressing. If she knew that that was going to be happening to her, I think she would have done her paperwork and took care of that responsibility. And I understand that I haven't done any paperwork. I think most of us in our lives, we just don't deal with that. But something to think about. Wow, it's kind of depressing. And I walk past her place and I see the little stickers on the door from the state and the other people involved that have sealed the place off. And it's just really sad. And when I see things like that, it makes me want to stay motivated and continue my exercise and continue eating better and staying safe, trying to stay safe, doing the best I can. And let's face it, I mess up. We all mess up today. I had a nice big cheeseburger and chili fries when I took my mom out to lunch. And but I watch myself as best I can, and I try to work out and stay safe, because this woman didn't really live that long. And I'm sure if she knew that she was going to be going as early as she did, she would have not been happy about that, or she would have made some preparations at least for some of it. So, you know, on my videos I always talk about do your best, eat well, stay well. I'm going to be going and getting my physical in another month and a half. I've been avoiding it. I should have had it a few months ago, but I'm trying to lose a little bit more weight. Slacked off a little bit on the gym because my legs were killing me from the elliptical. My knees were starting to hurt, and I didn't want to cause damage, so I backed way off on that. I'm going to get back into that. But except for the cheeseburger and chili fries today and some of the other things that I do, I'm just trying to work out as best I can and eat well and do some exercise and take care of myself. So that's what I want everyone who's listening to do. I know we hear it and we ignore it, we avoid it, but the mortality rate in this country is way, way down. It's way, way down all over the world now. People are getting better medical treatment and better medical care, and they are leaving this earth way too early because of the lifestyles that we're all living. Way too much stress, too much unhappiness, too much tension. Oh boy. Okay, I just got a great message I'm not going to talk about. Let me go put in the password. Password is in. Let's see if we get that little module thing. If we get the module updating, then after that it will reboot and want the password again. But it's doing its little thing. We're 23 minutes in. Didn't see what the battery consumption was. This is kind of funny. I just sent a message to somebody who's going to be a guest on TV tomorrow. And I asked them what time they're going to be on so I can watch. And they wrote back and said they forgot to ask. Okay, so you're going to be a guest on a TV show, and you don't know what time you're going to be showing up? All right, what can I say? Blackberry is showing up. There's the Android is upgrading. And we're cranking out on the modules this time. Look at that. Let's go zoom on in. We got 39. It used to be way in the 40s. And normally this takes way, way, way forever. And then speeds up towards the end. So, I don't know. It's kind of sad and depressing when you think about that story that I just told you, but you just got to do your best. Avoid stress. Most important thing, it screws up your body, it screws up your blood sugar, it screws up your weight. Stress is the number one. Well, the number one is really how much food you consume and what stuff you were eating. And then after that, the number two is stress. Stress messes with the hormones of the body and tells you to store fat and store all the stuff that messes you up. And it's also bad for your body and your heart and everything else and your blood pressure. So, hey, everybody out there, stop stressing. I talk to so many people online and in person that are so upset with the political stuff that's going on in the U.S. right now. And it's not just the U.S., it's the world. The world is just going through a really hard time right now. And I'm not going to say that I'm not upset with it, because it's pathetic that, especially in the U.S., it's pathetic that I think it was like 36, it's down to 34% now, but it was higher. 34% of this country believes that what's going on is okay and acceptable, and the more problems we have and the more damage we have and the more destruction we have with the politicians in office, the better things are. And that's really sad and pathetic. Yet they call themselves patriots. And I'm not going to say that word. They call themselves patriots. So they're really happy about what's going on. But when you have a conversation with them, you can hear they are so angry, and there's so much hate in them and so much anger towards everyone else that doesn't agree with them. And then you've got the non-34%, the intelligent part of the country, the people with morals and class, and the true patriots, the true intellects, the true quality Americans, and they're stressing out because they can't believe what's going on before their eyes. So you have both sides that are getting as sick as can be, seeing shrinks and therapists and putting on an enormous amount of weight. And what happens when people are unhappy and depressed? They stop exercising, they stop moving around, and they sit around and they eat lots of food, and they gain the weight. And they try to hide the food that, now they call it comfort food instead of calling it food that's going to kill you. Now we got a happy name for it, comfort food. And go look at what's going on in the Midwest. I believe they said they had 30 deaths last week, strictly from ODs. These are in conservative, supposedly highly religious states. Out of control, ODs everywhere, so bad that the morgue cannot even store these people. They've run out of room. They've run out of room to store them, and they don't have enough time to catch up on doing the autopsies. These people are so angry. They're so miserable. Some of them have medical problems, but a lot of them, it's not medically related. They're just unhappy, and they get themselves in a huge mess in their life, and next thing you know, they're not exercising. They're not taking care of their mind or their body or their health. They're trying to hide their feelings and emotions and justify that it's okay. And next thing you know, they are addicts. And their life spirals and goes out of control. So you got to be thankful for what you've got. If you're listening to this video, you have a computer, you got a cell phone. Hopefully you've got some health. You've got some money. If you acquired your phone the right way, you've got some money. You got an internet connection. Maybe you have a place to live. Food to eat. Don't be one of those people that's showing up in the news being a statistic. It's dangerous enough out there with all the crime and all the problems and the accidents. Don't go messing it up by not taking care of your body and your health. And make sure you avoid all that other stuff that I was talking about. We're at 18 out of 39. 9:29. This thing says I've got this happened last month. I've got 19 minutes left before the battery on this phone, on this camera, is going to just conk out. And I might have to rush and grab the charger. I've been shooting a lot of video the last couple days. Most of what I filmed I'm going to delete, because I filmed it at the spur of the moment, and I thought maybe I really shouldn't post this on the net. Not going to get a lot of views, maybe going to anger a lot of people, and accomplish absolutely nothing. So that's why it's always good to think before you click send. 20 out of 39, maybe if some of the people that were in power in the White House that sit on their gold toilet at 3 in the morning and tweet, maybe if they would think before they click send, things wouldn't be as bad as they are now. 21 out of 39. So let's get on a happy point here. Happy news. What's happy? Wow, that's bad. I can't even think of happy stuff right now. What is going on in the world that's happy? Hey, Comey was in court today. Comey was in a Senate hearing, And it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible what is going on right now. We're like 4 months into this, and every single day it's collusion, corruption, other countries, fraud, stealing, deception, lies. It's just amazing to turn on the news, and don't give me this that it's fake news. Now, it's only fake news if you don't want to accept reality for what it was. It's incredible that suddenly it's fake news, but for the last 8 years, it wasn't fake news, right? Not going to buy that one. I might not have to charge this thing up 17 minutes. By the time I plug it in, this thing, the video, the update's going to be over. So I watch the news, and even though it's depressing, I try to take a positive outlook and go, like, this is unbelievable. I'm watching, maybe I think I'm watching a movie, or I'm watching just a bunch of fools, a bunch of idiots, trying to do something they're mentally incapable of doing or accomplishing. And rather than get upset or depressed, I laugh. And when it becomes a little bit too much, I click the off button and I turn it off. I avoid it. I stay away from it. Nope, that's not an earthquake. My leg keeps on banging on this, not banging. My leg keeps on hitting the tripod. 16 minutes to go on the camera. What I'm worried about is it's going to go from 16 down to 5 really quick, and then I'm going to be in trouble. Oh, no. So, hey, I play guitar. No, I don't play guitar good. If you check my my channel, I got a whole bunch of videos on auto shows, and which I really don't enjoy that much. But I go there to record so other people can enjoy it. But I've been practicing guitar for a while, and I don't play that good, but it doesn't matter because I love it. And I don't know if I'd say it's a hobby. It's just something that is very comforting to me. Wow, 15 minutes. So why am I saying that? Because I look at a lot of people, and they just don't have anything to do. There's so many people, some people read, and I don't understand how somebody finds enjoyment out of hiding their face in a book and blocking out the world for the next 6 years while they read a book, because reading takes forever. I just don't understand it. Other people like to sit there and watch movies. They will spend 5 hours, 10 hours a day or a night watching movies, and I think, how can you just sit there doing absolutely nothing but watching this? But we're all different. They might say the same thing about me. How can you sit there and strum strings and find enjoyment? It's really peaceful. It's really relaxing. Anybody that's listening, if you play an instrument, leave a little comment. What do you play? What do you do? Where do you get your music? Let me know how you're comforted by that whole thing. With me, I grab onto that guitar like it's a pet or a person. I just hold onto it. I wrap my arms around it, and I strum and I play, and I just go into another world of peace. And then I mess around with my patterns and my scales, and I try to play better, and then I trim my nails because I think they're too long and I can't get good enough notes and chords, and then I realize that's not because of my nails, it's because I suck and I don't know how to play and I don't know what I'm doing. And then I keep playing because I love it and I enjoy it and I get a lot of happiness out of it. So why do I mention this? Because if you're one of those people that doesn't play an instrument, you should think about it. You'll find an enormous amount of happiness. And the cool thing is, I talk to a lot of people that are much, much, much older, and they see me and they say, I wish that I learned how to play guitar, I wish I could play an instrument, or I wish I knew how to do that. And when I talk to them, what comes out is because they have nothing to do. They are bored out of their minds. They sit there at night and watch TV. They wake up in the morning and they drink their coffee and they read the newspaper, then they go over and they watch cable, then they play on the internet or they play a game, then they go back and they watch TV, then they play on the internet, then they play some cards. They are bored. They have nothing to do. They don't know what to do. They don't have a hobby. Go find something to do. Learn a hobby. You don't have to be an expert. It's just something to enjoy yourself. Go buy a coloring book and some crayons and learn how to color out of the lines. Buy some water paint and paper, like when you were a little kid in school, and try to test out your artistic abilities. Even if you're terrible and you try to draw a horse and it looks like a dog, that's fine. It's something to do. Go get a guitar and look on the net on how to do some fingering and say, I'm going to play a 3-chord song. No matter how bad it is, you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be successful. Just do it and see if you can do it and enjoy it and have a little fun. Oh my gosh, 13 minutes left on this battery, and we got 6 modules to go. So my words for this month are: avoid your stress, eat healthy as best you can, stay safe on the road. Somebody hit me last month or 2 months ago. I'm very lucky that I didn't get seriously injured, or that my mom didn't get hurt, and that there wasn't massive amount of damage to the vehicle. I'm very lucky. And I wake up every morning and I look outside and I'm thankful that I woke up to another day, and I'm thankful that I've got my health and that I'm not dealing with sickness and illness like a lot of people out there, and that my life isn't falling apart, and that at least for the moment things are good. So I'm appreciative of what I have and what I've got, and I know that I'm doing okay right now, and not everybody can say that. So and even if you're not doing okay, go grab an instrument. Remember when you were in school? I don't even know if they have them now. When I was in school, they used to pull out the auto harp. There are people that have auto harp videos online, and they learn how to play this thing, and they play it into their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Go buy a $20 harmonica and blow on that thing and try to make some tunes. Get a little cheapy $20 keyboard and play some songs, try to figure some notes out. Grab a guitar, like I said. If you don't like the sound of guitar, get a uke. 4 strings, not that many chords, not that many fingerings. I was just at the music store, and I picked up a uke, and I went, no, I'm glad I play the guitar instead of the uke. I just don't find pleasure out of the uke, where a lot of people do. I picked up a mandolin, and I went, nah, I don't really like the sound of this thing. I picked up a classical guitar, and I went, yeah, I really like the sound of the classical strings, and before I used to hate it. Now I like classical nylon strings, and I like the steel acoustic guitar. Bass, I picked up the bass, and I went, nah, I don't really like this. I boom, 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 boom. A lot of people find pleasure out of that. I've slacked way off on the piano. I bought the keyboard, and I slacked way off on that, just because I've got so much other stuff going on, but I'm sticking with the guitar. So go out and teach yourself a hobby, a guitar, an instrument, art. Go get into something that hiking's good, but you can't hike all the time. Bike riding is good, but you can't bike ride all the time. You have to find something that you can do at home to find pleasure. 39 out of 39, and hopefully it's not slacking off sitting there watching TV every night for the rest of your life until it's over. So leave some comments if you got to the end of this video. What kind of hobbies do you do? How do you spend your time at night? Are you going to buy another Android? Do you own the D-Tech 50 or 60? I don't know if there's a 40. Oh, wow. Updating. Look at this. This is just zooming along really fast. Okay, I'm going to get another reboot soon, and I'm going to have to put in the password, and then I'll finish this thing off with the time. This thing better hurry. I've got 10 minutes of video battery left. Oh, my gosh. How close can this be? Video's gone on for 39 minutes. Woo! 39. Talk about timing. There's a word. You can look it up on the net. It's called Beshert. I think it's Beshert or Beshert. B-E-S-H-E-R-T. It's a Yiddish word that is luck. And let me do my password. And talk about luck. 10 minutes on the video. We're at 9:40. This took exactly 40 minutes. Not bad. Let's go look over here. You got 67. Look at that. 67 now, and it was at 86. So it's like, what is that, 19 if my math skills are good? Let's see what this is called. There we go, a little AT&T. So we're going to swipe down. We're going to go to the hourglass. And we're going to zip on over here to the bottom. We're going to go to About Phone. What do we have here? June 5th, 2017. I told you. I'm glad that I was able to do this today instead of missing it for a few days or weeks. Android patch level. It's a 6.0.1, directly from Blackberry, blackberryshop.com, I think, straight from the Blackberry people. And it is the Adam Lincoln 746, AAL 746. Good luck on your install.